now. Yep, we are live on this beautiful Good Friday afternoon, midnight, whatever time it is. Today we're going to have a quick fun stream because it's Good Friday and it's almost Easter, of course. We, of course, got Mr. James, who was forced to show up.
Hi.
We got Mr. Yeet, like usual, from the...
Hello.
I don't know where, and of course, Trump 24 enjoyer.
So I'm everywhere.
Yeah, you're everywhere. So we have a quick stream for today, just a quick whatever, because it's Good Friday. It's one of the most important days of the year for obvious reasons. We're not going to discuss the religious side because, well, YouTube. But any other case, there is still some stuff to talk about, in particular with the Marjorie Taylor Greene stuff, which is just... Okay, can someone explain to me what this is actually about? The Taylor Greene and Laura Loomer stuff.
So
From what I understand, sorry.
No,
all
what
the
I saw. Oh, sorry, you can go.
Oh, come on.
all the neocons who are complaining that Trump was hiring neocons for staff hires are now complaining he hired a more right-wing individual.
That is a really good point, actually.
So, again, I'm not a fan of Laura Loomer. I have my issues with her for obvious reasons, but any other case, Taylor Greene's going after Laura Loomer, Loomer's going after Taylor Greene. It's a shit show. It is the definition of chaos. You don't know what's going to happen, and quite frankly, it's sickening that we can't have unity for 5 milliseconds in this party. It's impossible. I hate it. I mean, you have Laura Loomer, who's a schizo, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is slightly less schizo, going against each other over who's more schizo. So, yeah. I don't think it's going to end well, though. I guess Trump was trying to hire Laura Loomer. I don't know how much I believe that. Was that actually real? Or was that just, like, New York Times saying whatever?
I don't know. I just saw the story on Twitter, and everyone's been responding to it.
It just doesn't... I don't know. Who knows?
I think it's entertaining.
No, it's entertaining, but it's stupid.
I like both, so I'm just watching it.
I have no idea whether or not it's real. I don't think anyone's going to care.
Yeah, I don't think it's not going to affect... People make it sound like it's going to affect 24. It's not. That's just such a terminally online take. But it's like, okay, I don't want Trump hiring some of these people like Loomer. She should not be anywhere near the campaign. I know some people like her for, I don't know why, but...
I will say, in one defense of Loomer, she is a proven pretty strong campaigner. She almost unseated an incumbent. She only lost by 7.
Yeah, Webster's a fairly strong incumbent. Somehow he almost lost. I don't know how against Loomer of all people, but I don't know. Loomer's insane, but
It seems to work.
I don't know if that would work though nationally. I think it's just a district. Isn't it like Trump won the seat by like 30 or something crazy like that?
The Webster district,
Yeah.
he won it by 11, I think.
Okay, close enough. You just round down a little bit. But
I'll look right now.
yeah, so if you want to buy... Gosh, how did she do so good in that district then? What the hell?
It's really hilarious.
It may have been just Daniel Webster didn't take her seriously.
But is it the second time she ran?
Yeah, she
Yeah,
was
well, she
the
won.
nominee. I think it was.
She ran against Lois Frankel in 2020.
Oh, that's right.
I think it was the 22nd district.
Yeah, so then she carpetbagged up to the Webster district and ran
course.
against him.
Of course she carpetbagged of old people, but... Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's stupid that we're dealing with this every 5 seconds, especially after the disaster in Wisconsin, which I have a story out of Wisconsin that many of you probably don't know.
Yeah, it is a Trump 11 district.
Okay, it is. Okay, we actually got a super chat before we continue. Ben Cynics for 5. Didn't Loomer say Ron DeSantis gerrymandered the governor race? Yeah, she did. I remember that.
True.
Yeah, so true. He gerrymandered Miami-Dade County to they called the Cubans vote for him.
Oh, I love it. It's like, yeah, he totally gerrymandered a 20-point victory. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? What? Outside of people moving to Florida, how can you say gerrymandering inflated DeSantis' margin? That's just stupid. And I hate the fact some people actually believe that.
there's so many people who think that like gerrymandering affects like a Senate like will affect
Yeah.
like the result of a
Well,
Senate race or
I
something like
guess
that.
it could with turnout. Like if
It could,
you
yeah, it could affect turnout and stuff like that, especially if like there's districts that aren't contested. Like we saw that in I think it was Wisconsin Senate in
yeah,
2022, where two of the districts weren't contested and there was less Democratic turnout there.
that's like
Um,
the only thing. But what's like you win by 20? It's like there's no way you have freaking
yeah,
gerrymandering's the reason you won by 20. That's just ludicrous.
like I think gerrymandering could affect turnout in the sense that
That's
like
about
maybe
it.
if it's like a victory by like 1,000 votes or something, then maybe a gerrymandered
Well,
map could affect it. But
that, I mean that's
like a 20-point victory is not gerrymandered.
well, it's like why Scott Walker lost in 2018. I mean, there's like I think 20 or 30 seats Republicans didn't compete in the state legislature. It's
Oh
like
jeez.
yeah, that's why we lost. And I think it was only like 5 for Republicans that Democrats didn't compete in. That's why Scott Walker lost. We ran a bunch of like we ran nobody for a bunch of people. It's like, yeah, that's not good. And he still
Yeah,
almost won.
after that happened in Wisconsin in 2022, Mandela Barnes made that pact that like is going to have a Democrat contest every single seat in the country for 2024.
I can't wait for more Marcus Flowers.
Yes.
Yes, give me $100 million and I do a point better than Biden. Let's go. Let's see here. Gerrymandering is why Zeldin lost. I wouldn't go that far. It may have hurt him by a point, but even then, don't
But they
think
didn't
so.
New York wasn't. They
Yeah.
overturned the gerrymander, and the courts. I mean, you could argue that not having the like Jewish-based seat in southern Brooklyn was a problem, but gerrymandering really didn't affect the like that's like there was a gerrymandered map, but they overturned it.
Let's see here. Yeah. So I would say that overall with the statewide race, yes, it may affect it by like maybe a point. That's like best case scenario. Like I do believe outside of what they did in Milwaukee, Scott Walker would have won that race if we ran like half of those seats. I mean, he only lost by a point. That was with Milwaukee existing, but go look up that story. You think 2020 is the first of this crap? Look up 2018 Milwaukee and look what they did a week after the election. It's beyond a parody. But I'm not gonna say for sure what they did.
There's also some strange occurrences in Arizona in 2018. I think we've had strange occurrences in that state for like 4 election cycles in a row now.
Yeah, that's just
3 or
good.
4.
And I've always been like, prove it, and it's like Maricopa only had like a 10% signature verification. Again, YouTube, don't sue me, but it's like that's not good. It's supposed to be like 80%, where it's like, how close to the signature does that have to match? It's like 80%. They have it set at 10. YouTube.
Zeldin lost because Illinois was gerrymandered.
So
True.
true. Now, if they had a fair map in Illinois, we would have flipped like 3 seats, but no, we can't.
I think we would have flipped like 2 seats.
I think we would have flipped 2 or 3.
It would have been the northwest one, or the northwest one and that suburban
Springfield.
one we almost flipped.
I think also Springfield we would have flipped.
Well, that wouldn't have been a flip. That would have been a hold. But...
yeah.
Yeah, my guess is Republicans would have won. It probably would have been a 5 seat in Illinois, with a few of the Democrats barely holding on.
Yeah, so Wisconsin is finished. No, well, speaking of Wisconsin, did you guys hear about the civil war that's happened within the party?
Oh, I think I might have.
I hate this. So if you don't,
What's going on?
So if you don't know, there's for sure it's so far Washington, Brown County, and I believe Racine. There's going to be these quote-unquote, some Facebook boomers are forming conservative caucuses in each of the counties. And what they're going to do is they're going to try to primary out every single Republican in every single seat in those counties.
What?
Just primary everyone.
Yes.
Doesn't matter who they are. Just primary them all.
So, like, for example, these are some pretty important counties. For example, Brown County. Ron Johnson won because of his margin of Brown County. That's how he won. And they're going to talk about, oh, we got to get rid of leadership. What? So, yeah, there's going to be a civil war happening in, for sure, Brown and Washington.
Why? What's their quarrel with the leadership?
So what? Okay,
Was
So-
it the Supreme Court race?
yeah, it broke a lot of people.
It broke the Wisconsin GOP.
It broke
It's
them.
just the Civil War.
So yeah, Washington County, Ron Johnson won by 40, and they're gonna get rid of everybody in that county. Everybody they're gonna try to get rid of.
Yes, primary them all. Doesn't matter who they are, what they stand for, or who the primary challenger
No.
is. They must all be primary.
Now, let me be clear. There's some people in these 3 county parties that need to go, but they're talking about some of the most conservative people in the state legislature. They gotta get primaried out because they are, shills for Robin Voss. It's like, I don't like Voss that much, but he's nowhere near egregious enough to primary out all of his supporters. It's like, what are you freaking doing?
They're gonna replace the entire Wisconsin GOP with Q boomers.
They're trying to do that pretty much.
That would be like, just imagine every single Republican legislator and every single like county executive and like member of like the county governments, every single mayor, everything like that. They all just have like a Q boomer primary challenge.
Oh, that's not all. The talk will get rid of all party leadership. That includes all the county GOPs. They're gonna get rid of everything. That's what they want to do.
It's time to
hilarious.
redo everything.
Look, I've always said the Wisconsin GOP was one of the best GOP parties in the country. We are screwed right now. You have a gold mine.
You got to get your own Christina Caramo.
Oh my, no, absolutely not. Now, I have my own problems with shimming, but whatever. Just don't, why? We had 5 seconds apiece after the 2022 election. Then the GOP goes all schizo. Now it's a civil war between Facebook boomers and these incompetent hacks in a lot of these counties. Just, I hate this. I hate this.
We're not in a good position right now.
No, we are not. We are screwed. Now, Wisconsin, at least with the gerrymandering stuff, people I think are freaking out a bit too much about the gerrymandering stuff. Because in Wisconsin, there's a lot of strict rules about the redistricting. And there's only so much the court can do before the Supreme Court would get involved. So...
I mean, at least I think the Supreme Court will redraw the maps, but I still think that I don't know if that'll guarantee Democrats would win like the state legislature.
It could backfire
would probably just
them.
make it.
They can't.
It would probably make it a toss-up.
No. James, it's so bad for them. You have to make a 50-50 state assembly.
Yeah, I know.
You need to draw
I've tried to.
It's impossible in Wisconsin.
You have to draw on noodle districts going out of Madison.
Yeah, you can't. And with Wisconsin, there's laws about county splits. You can't do much about it. So
I also think you can't split municipalities or
Yeah.
something like that.
well,
You're telling me they can't do pizza slices
No, they
throughout
can't.
Madison?
When it comes to the like the townships and stuff, it depends. It depends. Like Milwaukee, you kind of can. It just
Well, I think
depends.
it's like if it goes over the population limit, you can.
Yeah, that's the only time you can go.
And also-
that's about it.
And also like they don't like pay attention to the contiguousness of districts for the city splitting, which just makes the districts makes them look terrible.
Yeah, I'm just saying to myself, okay, do we have to talk about the House seats in Illinois? Like,
Yeah.
how is this fair? This crap in Illinois 17th and 13th, it looks awful. This is considered a fair map to Democrats, but the Wisconsin map is considered unfair.
Well, the thing with the maps is that literally every map that Democrats drew are gerrymanders except for New York, and they almost got one in there as well.
Well, they were forced to get rid of it. Without the Supreme
Yeah.
Court doing something,
If you look at the states where they drew the maps, New Jersey, Oregon,
California.
California.
Well, Oregon was
What
not
else
that
was
bad.
there?
Oregon was not
Oregon's definitely a gerrymander.
It's not as bad as certain
We-
states, though.
It's a gerrymander.
It was
We
a-
just did really well there in the midterm, so it doesn't look as bad.
I mean, I think Salinas may have lost in like a neutral map.
Maryland, I'd call that a gerrymander. Connecticut is even a gerrymander.
Connecticut was, I think it was like the Connecticut map
Mexico,
was made
Nevada.
a long time ago. It was made in like it was made once Connecticut lost its 6th district, and I think they made it to be an incumbent mander, and then it ended up becoming a Democratic gerrymander because of political realignment. And they've just been doing these. They've been doing least change maps because they can't agree on how to change it.
Nevada's not that bad.
Nevada is kind of gerrymandered, as is New Mexico.
Nevada's very gerrymandered.
No, New Mexico's egregious, but
Nevada's also straight up illegal, but it doesn't matter because it's a Democrat gerrymander.
I'm pretty sure there's no Latino seat in Nevada.
Yeah, the good.
I think.
Oh, go on.
I think Delaware and Vermont are also pretty gerrymandered.
True.
Bruh. Oh,
True.
yes,
Delaware has the
Vermont.
oldest gerrymander in the country.
Okay. Yeah, but it's just like some of these maps, it's like Colorado has a fairly good map, Michigan, Wisconsin, but then you go to Illinois. It's just, I hate who draws these maps.
The more Democratic seats there are, the more fair it is.
And Pritzker also ran his first term by saying he wouldn't sign a gerrymandered map in.
Yeah, that worked well. The second got power. Oh, actually, this is a fair map you see here. Florida.
Well, yeah, the more Democrats, the more fair. That's how it works.
Yep.
But yeah, it's like Florida, it's like, yeah, it's a gerrymander, but it's not disgusting. It just looks good. It's not an egregious gerrymander like other states. There's some aspects that are a problem, but compared to other states, it's clean. I mean,
I thought it was funny that I thought it was kind of funny that Democrats almost lost one of the PACs, the 9th district.
They're gonna lose that eventually.
Probably. I mean, with how Florida's shifting and like the competence of the statewide GOP and the incompetence of the Florida Democrats.
We could probably flip like 4 Florida districts.
Oh, at least the only seat that I think we're not going to get
or 5.
Florida 20th is like the only one that's like impossible for Republicans.
I mean, the ones that you look at like I don't think the 10th is possible to flip for Republicans. That one's
10th.
definitely not.
Where's it? 10th?
That's
Orlando.
Maxwell Frost. That's Orlando.
Orlando's been kind of shifting right. That's like
but it is a PAC.
Wait,
it's a PAC of like the most democratic parts of Orlando.
So the only ones that you can make, Florida 20th, I think, is off the table. That's the
and also the 24th too.
I guess.
20 and 24 are off the table. Those are not DRA. VRA.
Well, actually, Laverne Spicer is going to win the 24th.
No, we're not playing this game with no.
Well, she's actually running for the 22nd now.
I know. She grifted over there, but
yeah.
Let's see here. Sun Looney for $5.50 Canadian. Gerrymandering sucks. Maps should be fair and represent the people in a certain area, but the Dems do well represent too. Yeah, that's my whole point. It's like the state legislators have the power to redistrict for a reason. Now, I don't like some of these maps at all. I mean, seriously, who designed some of these? But if both parties do it because the other party sucks. So that's why we need to avoid contested primaries. Yeah, Texas districts. Yeah, I don't know what the Texas GOP was cooking in Texas, but it wasn't good.
I have very high respect for the Texas map.
A lot of the ugliness in the Texas districts were to put incumbents in their districts, because on the old Texas map there were a lot of carpetbaggers, and what Texas did was they made every single member of Congress from Texas now live in their district, or they had to change the shape of the district to make it more safe while keeping the incumbent in their district. I
also think a part of it has to do with the fact they have the stupid minority-majority district. I hate that so much. It's like, yes, some of these look ugly, but they're forced to draw them ugly to comply with the nonsensical, redistricting laws in place. Just get rid of it. It's stupid.
And what I don't get is they also had they could have easily gotten rid of one of the Houston seats because they have a white seat in Houston. They could have gotten rid of it and actually not endangered any incumbents, but they didn't.
Yeah, there's some incompetence going on here, but
I don't know. And they also had a plurality white seat in Colin Allred's district, which they could have made into a Latino seat, which would have given them a stronger, I guess, VRA argument.
Let's see here. What do you think of what will happen in the state legislature, Virginia state legislature? I think Republicans have a chance of holding the state legislature in Virginia, the state assembly. You see how much money Youngkin raised? And he's going to spend all that on the state legislature races. So I think that they're going to probably hold on. I would say I think. Because the Virginia GOP knows what they're doing now. They're not incompetent like they were a couple years ago. I mean, think about it. In a matter of 2 years, we went from talking about how bad the New York, California, Virginia GOPs are to how the Virginia GOP is becoming a standard within the Republican Party. I hate this.
It's,
Okay.
everything like flipped from like the past like 4 years.
Yeah, it's just off the trails. Michigan went from like somewhat competent, just whatever the hell that was, to what are we doing now? It's not fun. Yeah, and then you have like New Hampshire, that's like they're one of the best state parties, but one of the worst federal parties. It's like, how does that make any sense? What?
And now now like Sununu says he's gonna retire,
That
and he
dumbass.
may not even run for like he like wants to retire.
What a dumbass. That guy knew he was going to retire, and all he had to do was run for that Senate seat. He had a free Senate seat.
He did.
And if he would have ran, we would be a 50-50 right now. And yes, I'm not the biggest fan of Sununu anymore. I would rather have him than that clown they currently got.
We would have been 50-50, and all we would have needed at that point was Laxalt winning his narrow race.
Yeah. And they would have fought like hell to make sure he get over the hump. It's like, what are we doing? I don't think Kansas electoral future is good. Hopefully we get somebody really good when Laura Kelly retires. Yeah, it's not looking good in Kansas. I'm just going to be real. It's not... We have some bad news out of Kansas. It's not looking good.
And like yeah, Republicans, they couldn't even win the Sharice David seat, like even make it competitive.
I mean, it's shifted 8 points to the left. It's gone. It's not going to flip anytime soon.
Yeah, Kevin Yoder is going to be the last Republican who represents that district probably
I thought
for
it
a
was going
long
to flip.
time.
If you would have told me a Trump +4 seat in Kansas would have trended like 15 points to the left, I would have called you crazy, but it did. I don't know.
What do you
how.
guys think of Kelly Kobach voters?
Kelly? Oh gosh,
Kelly
I can't get over
Kobach.
that. I cannot get over the fact that Kobach actually won when the loser at top lost by like a couple points.
I actually like Derek Schmidt.
Schmidt.
I don't think he's
No, I
bad
want-
like people
Oh no, he's
make him out
not
to
bad.
be.
I just like he was clearly the more establishment candidate. And, well, that didn't go.
I mean, he wasn't really establishment. He liked Trump.
No,
you
I'm
know?
just saying he's like he leans establishment. You know what I mean? Like he's not.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't
full-blown-
Trumpy, but
Yeah.
I just call him like a conservative.
I wonder if any voters in Wisconsin exist that are Barnes-Michaels voters who voted for Doro in the primary and Protasiewicz in the
Yep,
general.
I know one.
You know one?
Yes, I know one. I'm not getting into it. I know
Barnes-Michaels.
one. I hate it.
That's like I feel like that's like probably the most interesting vote pattern of the last like 6 months
I
that
know
you could
one
have.
and I hate it. He voted for Michaels because he saw him on TV more, and he voted for Barnes because he saw him on TV more. It was stupid. But
What's the logic from Doro to
same
Janet?
thing. Same thing. He saw him on the news. It's so stupid. These are the swing voters that decide our elections, folks.
Median
Amazing.
voter votes for whoever's on the TV more.
It's not even a joke. That
That is literally an NPC moment.
That explains why they voted for Trump in 2016, probably, right?
I actually think he wrote in somebody. I
What?
forgot. He wrote in I think he wrote
We write Dr. Phil.
I think he wrote in Bernie Sanders. Okay. I know 2016 he wrote in Sanders, I believe. He voted for Feingold. In 2018 he voted for Walker, but he also voted for Baldwin. In 2020 he voted for No, it wasn't Trump, but it wasn't Biden.
Do you vote for that lady, that libertarian?
Yeah,
Joe
he voted
Jorgensen?
Yeah. Then in 2022, he voted for Michaels and, oh my gosh, and Barnes. Then he voted for Doro in the primary, then flipped to Protasiewicz.
I think we found the elusive likes both Trump and Biden voter.
I hate this.
It's kind of funny that these voters exist.
They do, and the worst part is they exist in a large amount. And Republicans fail to understand this. They fail to understand that Twitter's not real life. And these people that think, oh, well, you see here it's actually proof that we gotta be more moderate. These voters they see who they see more on TV, they probably vote for them.
The people in Waukesha City saw Protasewicz nonstop and flipped to her.
He's a Bernie bro. Yeah, I don't know what... He just wrote in Bernie because he hated both. I think that's what it was.
And I think that also goes with, like, at least my belief that more electability comes from relatability rather than,
Yeah.
rather than policy positions. I feel like a lot of the time when a candidate has extreme policy positions, they fail to make themselves relatable to voters, which is why I guess a candidate that says something that, a candidate that talks about something that's irrelevant to the voters and makes them unrelatable to voters is going to be unelectable.
If Mandela Barnes was relatable to that many people in Wisconsin, that is very concerning.
No, well, because here's the thing that people need to understand. Because some people on Twitter, they think Barnes was, the reason Barnes did so good was because, it's just Wisconsin turning left. What actually happened was he ran a blue-collar campaign. That's what he ran on. He ran on economics purely. He didn't talk about abortion. People make it sound like he ran on abortion. He talked about it for 5 seconds and Ron Johnson slapped him in the debate. But he ran on economics, and that's why he nearly won. Why do you think he almost did a lot better in the Dreyfus area than Biden did? Or he did about even.
I think he lost
He lost
Van Orden just by 6. I think it was 6.
Yeah, but he did, let's see here, right here, Wisconsin. You see these counties in Crawford, Grant, they barely swung. Richland swung Democrat, Greene swung bit Democrat. He ran on economics. And this is what people need to understand. Economic policies for the Democrats are more popular than Republican economics. Focus on, fair trade, focus on jobs. When they focus on that, that's why the Republican Party nearly went extinct 10 years ago. So, I don't want to hear it. Because he ran on economics. He wants to get good paying jobs in Wisconsin. He's for fair trade. And he wants to just be a blue collar guy. That's what he ran on. While Ron Johnson ran as, Ron Johnson. He still won.
I don't necessarily like the term populist.
I don't either.
But for the sake of what I'm saying, imagine if the GOP did actually embrace more populist economic policies.
Here's
we'll
my
keep their
problem.
social policies.
Before that, Wholesome DJ Aftershock for 2. Saw Youngkin raise $3 million for this November. Yeah, he's gonna go all in. I think we're gonna keep the state assembly at least. But yeah, it's I hate the terminology populist. It's anybody can be a populist. It doesn't matter what their policy is. You can be a populist if you're just anti-establishment. I mean, that's why Bernie Sanders is a populist. And Donald Trump is considered a populist. Anybody, if they're running against an anti-establishment campaign, they can be considered populist. It doesn't really matter what their stances are on anything.
It's more of a rhetorical
my point here, though, is that a lot of people will ignore the craziness within the Democrat Party because they just run on more economic platforms that are just more made to help normal people.
Now, they found their secret sauce in abortion, and I still have my questions about it, but if the Republican Party could get off their ass when it comes to it, it wouldn't be such a freaking problem. Why do they keep running away from the issue? They've never talked about it in the past, 3 years? When was the last time a Republican talked about abortion?
When was the last time Republicans talked about guns?
Exactly!
They never talk about it anymore. It's amazing. Even though it's a winning issue.
The gun voters are more useful to Republicans than abortion voters are to Democrats. And they don't run on guns! You know how many gun owners exist in Wisconsin that don't vote or still vote Democrat? It's a lot! Why do you think the Northern Woods isn't red yet?
Those people don't have to worry about, crime. It's not a big issue up there.
Yeah, crime doesn't work. You gotta run on guns. So
it doesn't seem seem to work in the suburbs. That's what we saw from Waukesha City the other night.
Well, because crime's not a big problem in Waukesha. Do people not understand? Why do you think we did slightly better in Milwaukee City? Because crime's a big problem there. Outside of that, there's no crime in Green Bay. There's no crime in Oshkosh.
Is there crime in Madison?
Not really.
Yeah, I didn't.
Not
Like,
compared.
ignoring the liberalness of the city, I've heard it
It's-
actually is a nice city.
It's a nice city, but the politics is a cancer.
Yeah.
So let's see here. BB for $2. We need to take the Rufus position on board. No. You talk about unelectability. That's the definition of
Rufus.
Yeah,
unelectable.
that would be like, well, that would be like a 538 electoral landslide for
Yeah.
Democrats if Republicans took the position of Rufus on abortion. Like just run Rufus for president and see how that goes.
Let's see. Trump 2016 on abortion was great. Yeah. So speaking of that, I recommend people go watch the 2016 debate, Trump versus Clinton. Look for the part on abortion. Trump silenced Clinton on abortion after that. That's what I will say. I know it wasn't as big of an issue back then, but you want to know how to make Democrats shut up about the issue? Just do what Trump did to Clinton. Talk about what abortion really is. That's all they got to do. And then they don't have a problem, or not as big of a problem, but... Let's see here. PK for 2. Doesn't Dane have blue rules? Yeah, they do. So there is some room to grow for Republicans, but it's not much. But
Does Dane even have rules?
yeah, there's a lot of rural voters. Surprisingly,
I thought it was mainly like Madison and the surrounding little suburbs of it.
There's Sun Prairie, but there's a couple townships that are more rural around Madison. So
It's like I think it's like closer to the edge of Dane County.
yeah, it's close to the edge. It's not. It's like probably like 15% of the vote, but still, it's something. And they vote Democrat.
Yeah, it's
Guess
like
it's
the
just a
Vermont.
cultural thing.
It's like the Vermont of Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. Rufus would win 100% of the vote from the southern state rules, but that's about it. Okay, let's see. Republicans need to have the exact same position as Democrats, so Dems can't call them extremists. That's what the Republicans have done for the past 15 years. So, let's see. Rural Dem voters and urban rep voters are so cursed. They exist a lot in Wisconsin. I mean, well, I wouldn't say as much as they used to, but they still exist. What if Trump was a nominee against Obama in 2012? It would have been closer. I don't think he wins. He would have won like Ohio, but Florida. I don't think he would have won though. It just back then the map was still a bit unfavorable to Democrat or Republicans, so I don't think he would have won. Matthew Paccio for 5. Why didn't Kelly go after protestants for airing pro-eugenics abortion commercial? I don't know. I honestly don't know what the Kelly campaign was doing on abortion. They were missing in action. You can't just. It's, for example, do you notice Democrats never talk about socialism? Have you guys ever seen a Democrat talk about the issue of socialism?
I can't think of a single currency who even used the word.
Yeah, exactly. And you notice,
Like I actually looked through a while ago because I was arguing with someone about this about like the squad's use of the term socialism, and I looked through like all the squad's like tweets and stuff like that, and I could not find them. Like they haven't talked about socialism really since like 2020.
And you notice this: socialism voters vote 90-10 Republican. Not because, the Democrats, they're the true socialist America. No, because Republicans just talk about it all the time. Democrats don't. Republicans or some boomer voters are like, well, you see here, these are the true socialists. And they vote Republican. Yeah, PK2 for $2. How did Kelly almost lose Ozaki? I still don't know how that's possible.
Suburb trends. That's really it.
But even then, it's...
Yeah.
He underperformed an open partisan by 13 points in that state senate election.
That really tells you a lot.
And he ran up like 2020 had what, and we needed to potentially get rid of Protasiewicz as impeach her. It's like, who are the voters that voted for Protasiewicz but no? I want to meet these people.
It's probably like my guess is that it's like ancestral Republican voters who think that Kelly's too much like Trump, but like they still vote down ballot Republican or something.
No, I have the answers because they saw Protasiewicz more on TV.
That's honestly probably the truth. They probably thought that Kelly was like the leftist.
Oh, this is an interesting one that someone said. How would Paul Ryan do if he ran for Senate?
Oh, he would get crushed. He would like lose Kenosha. He would lose Racine. He may win. He may hold on to like Waukesha and Washington. That's about it. He would get crushed everywhere else.
Yeah, he would.
He is not
That would be
liked.
that would not be an entertaining race to watch, but it would be an entertaining race to it would be an entertaining an election night seeing how bad he would
He
lose.
would. He is. People need to understand. The guy was hated back then in Wisconsin. I mean, you notice of the three Midwestern states, Paul Ryan from Wisconsin. Yet Wisconsin moved like the least of the three Midwestern states: Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. What does it tell you about Paul Ryan as a VP? He's
Yeah,
useless.
and I mean, he could. Yeah, Mitt Romney didn't win Wisconsin, but
He didn't come
like,
close.
yeah, with a Wisconsin representative on the ticket.
Let's see here. Did the judge race Wisconsin have party identification? No, it's a nonpartisan race. Well, supposed to be, but that didn't go so well. But no, there's no party ID, so you just see Daniel Kelly and Protasewicz. You don't see like
Kelly would have done so much better in hindsight if he was just an open partisan.
he would have lost.
Yeah, he would have.
He would have lost maybe by like 4 or 5 points, maybe. But I think and a Trump endorsement would have helped them even more. And people just seem to forget that with a Trump endorsement, Kelly wouldn't have won, but how much of a boost would he have gotten? Let's be real here. He lost by 11. With a Trump endorsement, he's probably going to lose by close to like 4 or 5. So, and if he ran as open partisan, I think it's a lot. I think it's within a couple points.
Elections are. I don't think independents don't really exist much in the country anymore. It's just basically two partisans and whoever can turn out the base more.
Well, independents.
Yeah.
There's some independents that exist, but a lot of them they just don't. I don't think
At
they
this
really
point,
care.
they're probably like 10% of the electorate
Yeah.
max, and most of them lean towards one party, anyways.
Let's see here. BB for 2 need to run on free housing. Tied to credit score. Nah, I'm for like affordable housing, but I'm not for free housing. I think that's just stupid. Because okay, if you have good credit score, so what? Like, yeah, that means they're somewhat probably responsible, but you shouldn't get free housing for it. But
I think running on housing reform might be a good issue, especially in certain communities
Yeah.
where housing may be more of an issue.
let's see here. PK for 2. After 2022, I think Georgia can be saved unlike Arizona. Yeah, I think Georgia's actually in a better situation. That's another state that, 2022 it kind of flipped. Arizona at this point's in turmoil, while in Georgia, Brian Kemp is actually doing a good job. There's some hope in Georgia at least. I think Republicans could win it. I'm more confident about Georgia long term than Arizona now because I think we're starting to see that Democrats. There's a lot of every single suburban county in America. You're noticing they're starting to plateau after like 3 or 4 straight cycles of swinging left. You noticing that? Especially in Georgia? Like,
Yeah, that is happening to a degree.
like, for example, in a place like Cobb County, it only swung like 5 points Democrat, Gwinnett 6, and this was for the Senate race. That was when Herschel Walker lost by what? He lost in this runoff by 2 or 3. Then a couple points worse than Trump. It's like, there's some signs these trends are probably starting to mellow out a little bit. Ben Sinnix for 5. Funny how electabros don't mention how HW almost destroyed the GOP in the 90s and made them flee to Ross Perot. Yeah, HW was not good. He's better than his son, but that's not saying much.
The GOP might be dead after Trump, really.
I
mean, it
wouldn't go
depends on
that
how
far.
things go. I mean, they're a dying party right now.
I wouldn't say that. They're in a way better situation they were a couple years ago. Let's be real here. But they just got to get their act together. Because now they have a wall of sorts. Like, they're never going to fall below, like, 200 electoral votes. And they're never going to fall below, like, 50 Senate seats after 2024. And you got Florida continue to get more and more red. It's like, I don't think it's really going to change. It just depends if the GOP can do something. So, Force of Swan Heavy Right. Did it? I actually didn't know that.
The GOP electoral college-wise is going to be dead if they don't get their act together.
Again, I think it just kind of depends, really. But we just got to see. Force of Swan Heavy Right in 2022. Yeah, I am starting to really think that Georgia, you're starting to see some, not full-on, like, reversion, but at least like partial, like maxed out Democrats. So
Reminder that in midterm polls, we largely consistently saw Trump performing closer to Kemp than Walker.
which is, I'm fascinated though. I mean,
So we also see that with Arizona. So
that it's just like,
it's interesting.
it's just fascinating to me that Trump is running the best he's ever been in polling. But it's like people make it sound like he can't win 2024. It's
I think people are forgetting or just ignoring how unpopular Biden really is.
like he got saved.
Yeah.
Democrats got saved because they weren't tied to Biden that much. Well, let's be real here. I mean, Republicans did not tie Biden and Democrats that much, while Democrats tied every Republican to Trump. So that's why 2018 was not good for Republicans. So was 2022.
Like, how much support has Trump lost versus gained since 2020 compared to Biden? Has Biden gained any support?
He may have gained a couple like suburban voters in like freaking Georgia. That's about
he's
it.
lost so much support, and Trump's probably gonna be about the same.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that they may hate Trump, but they're realizing that he's competent compared to Biden. It's not a large share of the electorate, but it's large enough to possibly flip a state like Wisconsin back. Enough to probably flip Nevada. So we just got to see, but this idea he can't win 2024, it's ludicrous. It's going to be such a high turnout election, you can't expect, Wisconsin to swing 15 points to the left, like some people are saying. It's going to be the highest turnout election possibly ever. So we just got to see what happens, though. But I think it will be a damn close race, though. That's my honest opinion on it.
I wouldn't be shocked if the turnout's like insane, like even more than 2020.
Oh, it's going to be.
It's good.
Well, it's obviously going to be more than 2020, but I'm just trying to think of how much more.
I think
I'm surprised you guys think that. I honestly think it'll be less turnout.
No.
I mean, I think there's
Democrats are ready to defend Biden.
I think there's.
I know, but I don't expect Biden to get.
Like, I think there's a reason to argue that there might be less turnout because, because it's the same two candidates from 2020, and I think it's but I think that each party is just going to be motivated by their hatred for the other one.
It's going to be the highest turnout election years. That's what I will say. I think it's
because people are going to be too afraid of the other party winning, so they're going to turn out.
Yeah, it's good. I 100% think it's going to come down to who can message better. That's what the election's going to come down flat out. It's not going to come down to who turns out more. Turnout's already guaranteed to be record high. It's a matter of okay, who's going to win, abortion or the economic possible crash? We just got to see. Whoever wins 2024 will win with less than 300 electoral votes. I agree.
No,
I agree.
don't think so. I think Trump's actually in a really good position right now.
I don't think it's out of the question to say right now that a candidate could get over 300. It's gonna be 306.
As of now, I mean, Trump's probably gonna win in a similar margin to maybe not the same amount of electoral votes, but just margin wise for the tipping point say it's gonna be closer to Obama 2012, I think.
If the election were held today, maybe. I honestly think
that's basically that's what I mean. As of now, things can change.
If the election were held today, I think he'd win every state he won in 2016, plus maybe Nevada and possibly another state.
I
if he could have a fluke flip.
I think
Nevada's the first to flip.
I think Nevada's gonna flip. I think it's gonna flip no matter what.
If he's really winning the popular vote by 2, like the polls are suggesting right now, then he's absolutely flipping.
We learned from we did learn from 2022. Is this all because from Florida or California?
Hey. I mean, here's the thing though. Here's the thing: the national polls were dead, exactly right in 2022, and Trump's coalition is very different from the midterm coalition. The midterm coalition was a lot more ancestral Republicans. You could see that because you'd see in the electorates in Pennsylvania, for example, it was R+3. There were more Republicans that turned out, but it was also Biden +3.
Yeah.
So while there were more Republicans, there were more Biden Republicans in 2020. They're ancestral.
Also, the hard part. I'm sorry.
No, go on.
That's all.
No, okay. The hard part I think the part that's gonna make it a little bit harder for Republicans to flip Nevada, although there's other factors in favor of them, but the DSA was recently voted out and the Reed machine was recently voted back in. And because the DSA was found out like they were actually like sabotaging the Democratic candidates to an extent, because they like didn't believe in electoralism.
But I do think that the Lombardo's going to do some work over there, though. I do think we're going to see some change with Lombardo.
I wouldn't be shocked to see Lombardo try to push whoever the Republicans nominate for Senate over.
Let's see here. PK2 for.
I hope they do Laxalt again. I think he deserves this.
I don't think he's gonna run. PK for $2.
I hope he does.
I don't get Hobbs, Schweikert, and Horn voters. They exist. I hate it. It's called Arizona. Arizona voters always fascinate me. They make absolutely no sense with their votes.
We need the Hobbs Masters voters.
There's a chunk that do exist. I hate to say it, but they do.
It's probably voters in Maricopa County that thought Blake Masters was more moderate than Kerry Lake.
What do you guys think of this image I posted in general?
I want to see this. I hate the pizza stuff with DeSantis. Look, I'm still neutral on 2024 somewhat, but that optics is terrible. It's just terrible.
Oh, what about him?
The terrible. So he went to a pizza place and I don't know.
Oh yeah, that.
That was just whoever said do that. You should be fired.
I just think it's funny.
He looked so awkward.
I mean, he
at,
just
at this rate, they're gonna run Youngkin over against Trump instead of DeSantis.
I know.
It seems like he will.
No, he's focused. He's focused on the Virginia State Senate. And that goes to November.
We'll see. We'll see.
I like Youngkin. I wouldn't vote for him over Trump, but I like him.
I'm skeptical of Youngkin.
Let's see here. No, I don't have a.
I still like him, but I'm skeptical of him.
Let's see. If Republicans flip West Virginia, Ohio, Montana in 2024, they will pretty much have a permanent majority. Again, we've seen the last 2 years the map's flipping upside down. We can't really say that. I mean, New York has a chance to be, fairly close somehow. California's shifted 10 points to the right in 20. I don't know how you're going to say. I don't know what you could really say to say that this is for sure what the map will look like in 5 minutes. So...
I think what... Oh, sorry.
No, go.
I was going to say, I think what, the past, since 2016, I think what that's shown us is that you can never guarantee anyone to win anything.
No, you can't.
There's always there's always the chance, everyone was saying, oh yeah, New Jersey's not going to be that close. Look, the polls have it at D+7, and then, Phil Murphy almost loses.
Which I called, by the way. I said that race was going to be within 5. But I didn't think it was be that close. So, what do you mean by general? No, we just have a private chat. That's what you meant. Okay. Is Arkansas going to keep trending right in 24? At some point, I would assume these swings don't continue. I mean, look at some of these swings. A 19-point swing, 10, 11, 13. How can Arkansas keep swinging right?
Those blue Eastern swings are pretty insane.
I just hate the fact that there's a serious shot that, oh my gosh, there should be one blue county left in Arkansas by the time of the end of the decade.
I mean, what kind of surprised me was that Sarah Huckabee Sanders lost Washington County with Fayetteville in it.
I don't know how she did that, but...
Yeah, and she ended up flipping some of the Biden counties on the Mississippi River.
That's just trends for you.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't be shocked if, at some point in the future, the only blue counties in Arkansas are, the two around Little Rock and Washington.
We gotta just see. Okay, Longhorn Politics for 2. Happy Good Friday. Jesus loves y'all. Thank you very much for the super chat. We need to nominate Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney to win Michigan. Can you imagine?
So
oh, gosh. That would be they would lose by, how much did Obama lose Michigan by, or win by in 2008?
Wasn't it 17?
You could double that.
Here.
Just something like that.
You could double that for Kinzinger and Cheney.
It was 57-40.
Jeez. Yeah, you could double
or
that.
57-41 when rounded.
Okay.
So it was D+16 around.
Let's see. John White will win Arkansas in 2026. Oh gosh, I thought that was a parody, but he was a real candidate that ran. If you don't know the lore of John White in Arkansas 4th. He was essentially a conservative Democrat who thought every election since 1960 was you-know-what.
Yeah. Yeah, and he was also like a standard Democrat on like a lot of other positions.
Yeah.
But I think he like ended up like showing some sympathy to like Q or something. It was like the QAnon movement, which was and the Arkansas Democratic Party ended up like denouncing him.
But the thing is, okay, it didn't shift as it did. Hold on, it wasn't the rightmost shiftward state district of 2022. I can't go over the fact that John White still got 20%. You know, well, there's a couple Trump voters that voted for White.
Yeah, after watching the debate.
We gotta watch that debate. We gotta watch that.
Yeah, we should like do a stream reacting to that debate.
We gotta do reactions of 2016 debates.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the 2016 primary debates. I'll go back and watch them.
I
watched so much fun.
Look, Trump in the first debate where he called out Rosie O'Donnell. That was. Oh, I love Trump 2016. Okay. Sam Madsen for 2. Would DeSantis lose Mower County, Minnesota? Mower County. Isn't that... Where's Mower County? I actually don't know.
He could.
I don't know where that is. PK for $2. Why has Washington won less than the other two? In the WoW counties? Or are you talking about Arkansas?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think he'd probably lose Mower.
Oh, yeah. I found... It's... Scott Jensen won it by 3. It's the one south of Rochester.
Oh, okay. Maybe. Let's see. Why is Washington... So which Washington county? There's like 15 of them. You talk about Wisconsin? Or are you talking about Arkansas?
Maybe it's because I was talking about Washington County and Arkansas.
Okay, yeah. So my guess it's more ancestral Republican, but it's not. It's shifting left. I really don't know why, but who knows? Maxwell JW for 5. The House GOP would be an inexhaustible meme machine with both Representative Santos and Coomer. Oh, I forgot he existed.
Yeah, Neil Kumar. Yeah, we needed a Congress with both Neil Kumar and John White in there
and
in
George
the Arkansas
Santos.
Delegation. Yeah, and George Santos. You gotta have him in there.
That's the Schizo Caucus. Okay.
And like, who else?
We'd have to add in Loomer for doing that.
Okay, you're talking about... Okay, he's talking about the Washington, Wisconsin. So, look, people misunderstand the suburbs of Wisconsin. The suburbs are not like the Philadelphia suburbs. They're more rural. This is what people need to understand about Wisconsin. It's a small town, rural state. That's Wisconsin in a nutshell. And Waukesha, yes, there are parts that are more suburban, like Waukesha City. But a place like Washington County, it's fairly rural. And that's why it's not shifting as Democrat as Ozaki and Waukesha, which they have some rural areas. It's not as much as Washington. So that's what it is. George Santos for president. So true. You know somebody like that's going to run in 24. You know somebody, a schizo like that's going to run.
I mean, you already have the RFK Jr. guy.
Oh, we got to talk about that.
He's running.
So,
yeah.
I do wonder, though, my opinion, if he somehow won the nomination, he won't. He would win an easy landslide in 24 if he was a nominee. Let's be real.
No, I don't think so.
I think
Democrats wouldn't vote for him. I don't think they would run a third party. I don't like Democrats don't like RFK Jr.
But here's the thing.
I don't think they're going to let him win the primary.
I know they're not going to let him, but I think he would win the presidency if he was a nominee. Because there's a lot of Trump voters that would vote for RFK because his last name.
Yeah, but a lot of Democratic voters would stay home.
I agree. I don't think RFK is that electable.
He's like his views are not like if he ran as a Republican, I think it would be. I could see him winning a primary, but as a Democrat,
I think he'd get the vote D no matter who people, and then get some of those.
Yeah, but
Trump
but he's decently known among Democrats for like being like the crazy Kennedy or like.
We're still gonna vote for him.
But yeah,
No, not really.
he's going.
I know a lot of people. I know a lot of Democrats who would not vote for RFK Jr.
They voted for John Fetterman.
Yes, let's see here.
John Fetterman isn't. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of the positions that RFK Jr. does.
Yeah, he's just brain dead.
Let's see here. RFK better not campaign in Texas. Don't go to Dallas or Los Angeles.
And don't drive in a convertible, an open top car.
Is RFK electable? No, I'm just saying. I think he would win though if he someone got past the primary. I think he would.
Like, I don't think. Like, I think even if the DNC, I don't think the DNC even would have to step in to stop him because he's just not going to win a primary.
I do want how many Trump Democrats would vote for RFK though?
Yeah, but how many Trump Democrats are still voting Democratic primaries are there?
No, I'm just saying in general. Let's say RFK magically made it past the general or primary. How many Trump Democrats would flip back to Democrat if it was RFK?
I would say a good number of them would. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked as long as especially if the Republican was a more, I guess, like 2012 style Republican.
Don't fly a plane either.
Yeah, I just think it'd be the equivalent to Republicans nominating like Charlie Baker or Mitt Romney in today's day and age, even.
No, I think that's ignoring that Republican voters and Democrat voters have very different mindsets. Democrats will vote for literally everyone, literally anyone.
Well, Democrats will vote for anyone who
Republicans won't.
Democrats will vote for people who are Democrats or independents or whatever who, like, if it's like Bernie Sanders or something, but that match like the Democratic, like the main platform of the Democratic Party. RFK does have some significant splits.
RFK is a liberal in everything except for like one issue.
Yeah, there's like one issue
but
he's
that's
not.
like that issue is going to lose him a lot of voters.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's going to lose him as much as people think it would.
Especially if he made it through a primary.
Yeah, if he made it through a primary, I think he wins.
He wouldn't care enough.
Let's see here. The Schizo Caucus. George Santos, Neil Kumar, Laura Loomer, Rebecca Jones, Jeff Young, and John White. Oh, gosh.
That would be the best Congress. That would be the best caucus in Congress, and they would create such excellent bills that would need to immediately become law.
Oh, my gosh. In this Congress, they would control the House.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
Imagine a bill written by Laura Loomer and Jeff Young.
Oh no! Who's another schizo, like Democrat or Republican?
J.R.
Majewski count?
No, I don't think he's schizo. He's gonna run again.
He's not. He's just really like. Isn't he like running against Captor again?
Yeah. He's not a schizo. I think his campaign ran into the ground. That's what I will say. I'm trying to be careful.
I don't know. Does Joe Ray Perkins qualify or no?
Kind of, but didn't she do halfway decent? And
I think that's more governor's coattails then.
I don't know, but RFK Jr. has a dad who was assassinated. An uncle, no, his dad wasn't assassinated.
RFK was assassinated. He was assassinated by I think it was either a Palestinian or a Jordanian because I think he approved some sort of aid package to Israel.
I got it mixed up with Ted Kennedy for a second. Yeah, so he had RFK Jr. as a dad who was assassinated, an uncle who was assassinated, and another uncle who was killed when a plane exploded, which, by the way, we probably know who was involved with that one. Clinton's, but I don't know. They don't have good luck. And then, Ted Kennedy, killed the guy when he was drunk.
I can't pronounce the name of the lake that it was. It's it's Chappaquiddick.
And the thing is, if he never did that, he would have won the presidency eventually. That's what held him back.
Probably. I mean, he almost primaried Carter.
Yeah, but that was that hurt him a lot. Him killing a guy like that, but
yeah.
Santos, Taylor Greene, 2028. Oh gosh, we would win Alabama. Rap thoughts of the Clinton body count. No comment. No comment. Because I don't know. I think it's over exaggerated. Is that kind of true? It's kind of over-exaggerated?
Who knows?
Yeah, I'm not gonna. World War II plane explosion. Yeah, it's always when it's the middle of the night and nobody's around. It always is that. What about that Dem that ran against Fitzpatrick? Oh, yeah!
Oh, I don't know about this person.
Ashley Ahaz?
What? Wasn't she, like, freaking insane or something like that?
I think, well, I just remember she was, like, comparing, she was saying that, like, Fitzpatrick was the same as Mastriano or something.
Cuomo changed.
She filed to run again. She's gonna try to run again.
People are saying Cuomo changed parties. What?
Let me look this up. Cuomo?
This can't be real.
News. Yeah, I don't see anything in the news about Cuomo switching parties.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah, nothing on his Wikipedia either. He's a Democrat.
Get out of here with this fake news. Sam Mance for 2, Jeff Young. Yeah, we talked about Young, who, mind you, speaking of Young, how is he going to do in the governorship, in the primary?
He's gonna win like 2 votes.
Yeah, himself and like, I don't know.
Himself and like his campaign manager.
Let's see here.
He kept his donations open after the election because he spent all his retirement funds on the campaign.
Let's see here. Wholesome DJ Aftershock for $2. Hun Cow was a diver in the recovery of JFK Jr. Wait, really?
Really?
I didn't know that. Is that real? Or is that some bullshit? Because there's a lot of bullshit when it comes to this.
Like, I wouldn't be shocked since doesn't he have a military background?
Yeah, he was wasn't he a Marine? Or no, he was a Navy captain. So, what's your opinion on Finland joining NATO? I think it's just whatever. It was gonna happen.
I think it's stupid. Russia has no reason to invade Finland.
Yeah, it was gonna happen eventually, but I think it's like the worst time to do it. But
I mean, and also Finland was already pretty much a member of NATO.
Yeah,
and they already had the mutual defense. They had they were pretty much already a member of NATO. It was made official more because Finland finally I think we essentially had the invitation open to Finland, and they after Russia invaded Ukraine, they accepted it, and then
all that does for Finland is that if NATO and Russia end up at war, then Finland's going to be in the crossfires now.
Well, they already would have been because the EU has like a mutual defense thing, and a lot of the NATO.
Well, no, not necessarily.
Hey, Rap, I meant Joe Jr. Oh yeah, that's right. So your Sad Mats for another $2. Jeff Young, you already said that. You good, sir. Yeah, Jeff Young, he's a complete lunatic. Let's be real here. That guy is just. Yeah, right here. Jeez, it's swung 20 points to the right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Andy Barr was one of the biggest overperformers of 2022 because of that.
Oh, Jeff Young, he's running for the governorship. He's gonna get. I swear, if he actually primaries out Bashir somehow.
He's not. I mean, Bashir's probably going to get at least 95%.
Please primary him out. Oh my gosh! What would you do if he primaried out Bashir?
I would scream for a solid 2 days or something like that.
Sarah Palin. I don't think she's Skizzle yet. She's borderline. She's done some weird stuff lately. How do you feel about the Canadian Conservative Party post-O'Toole? They seem better, but it's not saying much.
Well, I know everyone's talking about how, I think it was Poilievre. He said something like "lay wokeism."
Yeah, he is. Apparently also there's a Chinese corruption scandal in Canada right now. I don't know what's exactly happening up there, but there's
there was some accusations that China influenced the Canadian elections to favor the Liberal Party.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I mean, Canada, they deserve it. I mean, you see what the Liberal Party's pushing right now, where you can't even say anything to trans people.
That's insane.
I mean, it's you're telling me you can't be within 100 meters of them. You can't say anything homophobic, or you get 10 years in jail.
Well, that's what they want to do here as well. Canada's basically what the Democrats are going to want to try to push, maybe 5 to 10 years from now.
Yeah, so here I'm seeing there was, I guess it was a leak. It was about a month ago, or no, it was not a month ago. It was about 6 months ago. It says it's like there was a leaked intelligence report of China meddling in elections, although the Justin Trudeau was claiming that there was no meddling.
Of course he wouldn't. Let's see here. How do you feel about the Sunak Conservative government in UK? I swear, if Labour blows that lead they have, which it seems like they are.
That's gonna be a bigger mess up than the 22 midterms.
Look,
or for the Republicans.
Yeah, like Labour is so bad at everything.
If Labour blows this, I have a full 20-minute video planned. I swear, if the UK votes for Conservatives, oh my gosh, they were weren't they 15% a week ago or a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Labour
they're on rate to become a dead party.
Yeah, I mean, the Tory party was expected to be not even the opposition party.
Yeah, wasn't Liberal Democrats supposed to be it?
No, it was supposed to be the SNP.
Oh, that's right. I always forget they're the third largest. Sam Madsen for 5. Imagine the state senate special election if Branson had won instead of Cano. Oh, we wouldn't have the state senate right now. We're a super majority. But yeah, so the UK Conservatives, they do this every year. Their poll numbers collapse. Then suddenly talk about immigration like, we're going to be immigration hawks. We're going to reduce immigration levels to 50%. Suddenly their numbers rise. I just... They do this every year, it seems like.
And Labour has just been falling apart. They don't know. They're trying to hold on to their lead by appealing to moderate voters. And they're trying to go, I guess they're trying to be more Tony Blair-like, and they're kicking all of the, they're kicking someone, they're kicking people out of the party because they're not
This is amazing.
Look,
and I look at British politics and I just see no hope for the country because all these people are they're even worse than our leaders.
Here's the thing though, when was the last time a party had 3 prime ministers in under 2 months and then go on to lead has that ever happened before?
And Liz Truss is the shortest serving prime minister.
Yeah. And so has it ever happened that suddenly when they're at 15%, then Labour blows it. Now they're up by 10 points now, and Conservatives keep going up and up. I swear, Labour, if you lose this election, you deserve to delete yourselves.
Yeah, at that point, just make a new party.
Yeah.
There's probably no hope for Labour if they can't win. If Labour can't win like this, then there's no point in them existing as a party.
Oh. And you notice the Conservatives, they took a stand on immigration and suddenly they skyrocket. Are they learning their lesson? Are they learning their lesson about being actual Conservatives and not, we need to be liberals?
I think Boris Johnson tried to do something similar, but he wasn't able to get it passed or something like that. Or it may have been courts that struck it down or something like that.
Let's see here. Canadian election probably happened. Yeah, I heard there's probably going to be a Canadian election this fall.
That just made me think that the entire Conservative Party of the UK is just Bob Stefanowski.
No, that's basically what they are, but they're the left.
Need to be liberal.
They're to the left of Stefanowski. Let's be real here.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, I think it was in the final weeks of the campaign, Stefanowski was doing the Youngkin style education kind of thing down in Fairfield County, but it was too late, and it didn't have the same effect.
You freaking bozo. Yeah, if Labour loses this somehow, we got to do an election night for that. When is the next UK election? 25?
It's not. There's no official date yet.
I know, but I thought it has to be by 24.
It has. Yeah, there's a date it has to be by, but it might be earlier because of several reasons. But yeah, it has to be at least 28th of January 2025, but it'll likely be sooner. It's
probably gonna happen next year then. We gotta have an election night for that. Oh, come on.
And also, the SNP is falling apart too, which is I don't know if you can.
How?
I don't know if you, because the SNP the leader abruptly resigned, and then her husband's in a corruption scandal or something like that, and then they had a brutal leadership contest where it was like Kate Forbes versus Hamza Yusuf, and Kate Forbes, I think, was something like she said that like gay marriage was bad or something like that. She was against it,
Based.
which is like surprising for the SNP, and she ended up barely. I think she ended up like barely losing, and so Hamza Yusuf is the leader. And then like there's been like all this tension in the SNP, and now there's like polls saying that like Scottish Labour is like getting close to them.
Okay, let's see here. Yeah, the opinion poll. How did they frickin'? I don't get it. They had one of the largest leads they've ever had, and they. James, why can we have nice things?
British politics is just awful. Like that's just how I would describe it. It's just awful.
They had almost a 40-point lead at one point, and they
were set to win like
blew
500 seats.
Let's see, breaking. There was a shooting in Isle Palms Beach, South Carolina. Is that real?
I'm looking at Twitter. It looks like it might be real.
Who knows? It sucks if it's real.
Let's see. I'll check news.
Thoughts on Loomer Camp? Let's see.
Yes, there was a shooting. It says an hour ago. It says 4 shot and injured in shooting behind sea cabins in that city.
All right. If they haven't released what race or sex it was, that means we already probably know who it was that did it. Well, I'm just being real here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have?
I see like a video of someone evacuating during the shooting, but.
Yeah, I hear. Okay. Yeah, prayers up for South Carolina. It just these shootings gotta stop. I mean, at some point, you have to. Hold on, we got a super chat. Adrian Augustin for Czar 35. What the heck is Czar? I hold on.
That is a South African rand.
Wow. We got a South African fan here. How many seats can the GOP win the Virginia Senate? By how much will they increase the majority in the House of Delegates? I think they keep about the same in both, but honestly, it's hard to tell because it's so early on. But I think they keep at least the state assembly. All right, but thank you so much for the super chats. We have fans from South Africa. This real American is real world. Is that what we're gonna call ourselves now?
real global politics.
Oh gosh,
real globalist politics.
Yeah, we're globalists here. All right. So I think we talked about everything. We talked about the fact the UK may go conservative still. We talked about the fact there was just a shooting in Palm Beach or South Carolina. We talked about the fact that Marjorie Taylor Greene and Laura Loomer are both schizos. And we talked about how ridiculous some of these things are. Yes, it is real. Yeah, it sucks for, again, prayers up for everybody in South Carolina. These shootings need to stop. Gun control's not going to do it. Stop this crap that, we need more gun control. If a bad guy wants a gun, they're going to get a gun. Can we just be real here?
Yeah, I'm just seeing something about a Texas judge. I think I think they just suspended the FDA's approval of the abortion pill.
Wow, they did?
Yeah, I see it in Politico from 30 minutes ago. Texas judge halts FDA approval of abortion pill.
That's gonna be another legal fight. That's gonna be a hard one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's FDA approved abortion pills, and so a Texas judge just blocked the FDA approval of it.
Now, will the Supreme Court actually take that up eventually? I wonder.
I wonder, yeah.
Because that's gonna be a precedent-setting case. Because couldn't that theoretically determine like viability technically for like when abortion could be or somebody's a human?
I think so, because this is the first 10 weeks. That's the abortion.
Oh yeah, this is gonna get juicy because if they rule against the pill, they are basically saying that is considered a person under the Constitution.
And
understand that.
Yeah, and there was last year there was like I think a Catholic pro-life group that tried to get the Supreme Court to define like when exactly fetus is a human, and they declined to set the precedent.
Yeah, they're not going to. I don't know, because that's such a hard. That's gonna be a big court case when it gets up there. We gotta stay close to that one because that's gonna be Dobbs on steroids. Let's be real. If they
I can send you the link to the political article.
PK for $2. Texas and North Carolina GOP are the only good swing state GOP. I wouldn't call Texas a swing state yet. North Carolina, borderline. It's like tilting swing state, but it's more. It's more.
I mean, like,
it's more leaning Republican.
It's still like it still has a Democratic governor. So
yeah.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna hop off for now.
All right, Godspeed to you.
Ciao.
Yeah. Okay. So, they're gonna let this be decided by the states. That's gonna open another can of worms. I mean, I don't know how you could regulate that at a state level.
Yeah, because I don't think states have their own version of like an FDA.
No, they don't. They have like health and human services.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there are some equivalents, maybe.
Yeah, they're gonna just. Oh, that's gonna be a hard one because like if you go out of state, you get an abortion.
Yeah, because you can because like at least with like abortion pills, you could drive into another state and get them and come back.
Let's see.
Like no one would. How would anyone even know you got them?
AK thirst for two. Like, my state's GOP did a good job. Yeah, the Tennessee GOP. We'll get to that in a sec. But yeah, it's like, how do you? It's not like abortion where it's like you go across state line, you get an abortion, you come back, you still technically committed a crime. You just, oh boy.
I mean, if it's just not approved if it's just not FDA approved, then I think you just can't sell it. I think that's it. So like, I don't think taking it's illegal if it's not like FDA approved.
Yeah, that's gonna be. There's a bunch of legal questions with that one. Because you could make the argument that, I don't know, it's going to be a dumpster fire.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be another one of those court case. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if this, starts to go up in. But I guess this means that I guess this means that the abortion pill no longer has FDA approval. So wouldn't that mean like it can't be sold?
Yeah, I believe it can't be sold then. It's going to be a. Because, again, they don't usually do that by the state level. They usually have the federal level, but this is a bit different. And, again, it opens a can of worms of this is possibly you're theoretically giving somebody a drug without their consent. It's going to be a weird one. It's going to be...
Yeah, this is the first paragraph of the Politico article. A Texas federal judge ruled Friday to suspend the FDA's approval of mifepristone, one of two drugs used together to cause an abortion, virtually banning the sale of the pills across the country. So this specifically, the abortion pill will be banned.
I don't know
across in every state.
It's gonna the legal argument you have to make is that you're giving a drug to somebody that's a person without their consent. That's basically what you have to do. They possibly. Ooh.
Yeah, there's not. Yeah, you have to argue that the drug is harming a person.
Yeah. That's going to be... Yeah, we're going to have to pay attention to that.
And if the Supreme Court wants to, if the courts want to reverse this, then they have to determine viability and stuff like that. But if they don't reverse it, then that's going to cause even more chaos.
Yeah, this is going to get real weird and real quick. All right. If anybody got any super chats, send them now. I think we're going to end the stream here. We got everything talked about, but that abortion stuff, again, we're going to have a court case eventually about viability. That's when shit's going to hit the fan.
Yeah. And so in this, it says that the Biden administration has a week to appeal it.
Yeah, they're going to appeal it. So was it a Texas judge or was it a federal judge in Texas?
It just says Texas. It's a Texas federal judge.
Okay, so then it goes to the appellate court. Then it goes.
And then the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it would go to the circuit court that Texas is in, right?
Yeah. Then it would. Yeah. Like somebody said, I think they're gonna take it because this is such an important question that needs to be clarified that you can't just hide from it whenever. So.
Yeah, I like after the Dobbs decision, you can't. I feel like you can't just say like, "Oh yeah, we're just never gonna say
You have to
when viability is."
You have to declare it. You have to set it like 20 weeks or so. You can't just sit back and I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna do like the federal somebody after they could feel pain, which is around 20 weeks. They are considered a person under the Constitution and they have federal rights, but states can restrict beforehand. That's what they're going to probably do. That's
probably. And let's see. So I'm looking at Texas is in the Fifth Court of Appeals. I'm looking through the current judges. Most of them, I'm looking. So there's one Clinton, two Obama, one Biden, and then there's one vacant, and then all the rest and two more Clinton, but the rest are appointed by Republicans. This is like the circuit court that this is going to be going to is very Republican, or at least appointed by Republican presidents.
Yeah. Buck Hunter 431 for 2. Is Don Bacon going to be able to hold on 2024? I think he holds on one more time that he's done.
I mean, that 2022 result was not good for him.
He has at best one cycle left in the gas for him.
Yeah, like Don Bacon, David Schweikert, those types are pretty. Like it says,
you're legally declared dead when you have no brain waves. So why you're not for the standard life? Because there always has been a question about when does life begin? Now, I personally believe it's at conception, but most people don't. But the brain waves isn't that usually 15 weeks? I don't know.
I think so, something like that.
Yeah, so
15 weeks is how most like European countries do it.
They're gonna set it like the federal limit's like 15 with like exemptions. That's probably what they're gonna do.
That's what John Roberts wanted to do. Was he wanted to keep the precedence of Roe v. Wade, but change it to 15 weeks.
What do you think will happen if we overturn affirmative action this June? Overturn Obergefell? We're not going to overturn Obergefell. I'm just going to be real. It's not going to get overturned. They're not going to hear it. That would. Yeah. But what? Ooh, didn't Paxton? Didn't they change the law in Texas or Tennessee? They changed the law about somewhere about gay marriage, or they're going to sue.
I know Tennessee was doing the county thing to ban same-sex, interfaith, and interracial, like to allow counties to ban it.
Yeah, we're gonna probably see it again then. And what they're going
to, I think Texas, and I think Iowa was also looking at banning gay marriage.
They're gonna do a referendum, which if they do a referendum, that's gonna be interesting. I'm fascinated by those results. If it's like 55, it's like 50-50. It debunks every argument about gay marriage is universally beloved, because I think it still would fail, but it's going to be much closer than people expect. I think people privately, they're still against it, but they don't like publicly say that they're against it. That's my opinion on it. In your opinion, Rap, who killed JFK? I'm not going to get into that, but I think the CIA was involved somehow. Alright, I think I'm going to end the stream here again. I hope everybody enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter account in the description down below, and join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed.